After studying this module, we shall be able to understand business marketing as against consumer goods marketing, know the nature of business marketing and its marketing implications, learn the classification of goods and services to which the principles of business marketing management are applicable, observe the type of business buying, identify the business buying process.
The business market, consisting of commercial enterprises, institutions, and government as buyers, is also known as B2B. It constitutes the largest market in terms of the volume and the value of business generated. This market can be for goods or services, local or international, concentrated or diversified, and for consumption or for resale. Thus, the challenges are many as well as diversified. Business marketing focuses over the buying behavior of all such organizations, commercial institutes, or government that buy goods or services for use in the production of other goods and services or for resale or renting or supplying at a profit. The factors that distinguish consumer marketing, that is B2C, from business marketing, that is B2B, are chiefly in terms of the intended use of the product and intended customers, their buying and consumption behavior in particular. Unlike consumer products, sometimes the products are differentiated as per individual customer, and sometimes the identical products are to be marketed through different approaches. This module will help understand the important differences and the needful insight about the subject.
Business and consumer marketing draw many points of similarities and differences. A common body of marketing practices and theory applies to both consumer and business marketing, but these markets differ in terms of their demand structure and nature, buying behavior, environmental influences, and market strategy and emphasis. Market structure and demand. The key characteristics of the business market in respect of its structure and demand patterns are quite different from the consumer market. The business or organizational marketer deals with fewer but large buyers who are the producers of the consumer goods. It is because of the smaller customer base and the importance and power of these large customers, the supplier's customer relationship is very close and the seller is expected to customize the product offering on one basis for this niche market. The market is usually geographically concentrated, majorly according to the availability of natural resources, capital, infrastructure, technology, and above all, market demand concentration. The demand of industrial goods is a derived demand. That is, it is ultimately based upon the demand of the consumer goods. It implies that the demand patterns need to be carefully monitored as it keeps fluctuating as per the consumer goods demand fluctuations. Another implication of the derived demand is that the marketer can develop derivative marketing programs to stimulate the ultimate consumer demand. In fact, by being sensitive to the consumer market, the business marketer can identify both the impending challenges and opportunities in real time.
It is very important for us to understand the nature of the buying unit and buying behavior. A business purchase is a complex process, and therefore it involves more decision participants who are trained purchasing agents with clear understanding of organizational policies, resources, strategies, and constraints. Many a times, purchase committees also called the buying center, are constituted with technical and management experts. The buying decision is taken through a long professional process of deliberations, suggestions, offers, and influences. There are multiple buying influences, with members of the buying center playing different roles in the purchase decision as initiators, users, influencers, deciders, approvers, buyers, and gatekeepers. The consumer and business buying behavior and buying process show significant differences. The decision making unit, that is the buying center, consists of the individual and groups who participate in the purchase decision and play different roles to influence the purchase decision as discussed earlier. The marketing and other environmental stimuli, that is the economic, technological, political and cultural factors etc., have an impact over the buying center's behavior. The deliberations of the buying center with an impact of the stimuli lead to the buying response in terms of the product or service choice, supplier choice, order quantities, as well as the terms of delivery payment, services, etc. Another significant feature of the business buying is that the buyer often demands the complete package solution from the single supplier. That is, instead of buying and assembling individual components, the buyer would always prefer the purchase of a complete system along with continuous assistance and services of the technical experts for smooth functioning of the production process.
The next factor is types of decisions and marketing strategy. The business buying decisions are very complex as the purchase decision involves large sum of money as well as complex technical, managerial and economic considerations. The focus is over relationship marketing and personal selling in order to have a close and enduring buyer-seller relationship. Role of advertising is limited and distinguished. Advertising is mostly through trade journals or direct mail so as to reach the specific buyers. The product strategy focuses significantly over the service components along with the customization of the product as per technical specifications of the buyer. Price negotiations are an important part of the business buying and are based on the formulation of the product package. Often, these negotiations are a long process involving diplomatic influences. Direct distribution of the products, along with the installation, is the marketing strategy in respect of the physical distribution. However, the business representatives and industrial distributors or brokers may also be the intermediaries for cracking the deal.
The decision process. The buying process is more formalized in terms of detailed product specifications, formal approvals, careful market search for suppliers, and written purchase orders. In order to capture the business order, the marketer works closely with the customer at all stages of the buying process in terms of matching the buyer's problem with his product solution, supporting the sales operations, and providing long run support services. Understanding the key participants in the buying center and their relative importance, influence, and their motivation is also very important for the marketer.
A relationship emphasis. Relationships in business market are often close and enduring. A sales agreement signals not the end, but the beginning of a relationship. Beyond negotiating and establishing a relationship, the marketer is to continuously center its focus over nurturing and sustaining this relationship, as the loss of even a single buyer can be immense. Supply chain management. The business marketer is usually a valued partner in a customer's supply chain as the rewards are substantial. A successful business marketer demonstrates the ability to meet the precise quality, quantity, delivery, service, and information needs, and becomes the partner in information sharing, joint planning, shared technology, synchronized production, and delivery scheduling, and hence shared benefits.
The classification of business goods and services is important to understand their distinguishable characteristics and the important marketing implications for each class and category. Understanding of these implications can be useful for a practicing marketer in this field. They can be classified into entering goods, foundation or capital goods, and facilitating goods. Let us now discuss these one by one.
Entering goods. This category of goods get entered or absorbed in the manufactured goods completely and become a part of the finished goods after losing or retaining their identity. They are of two types: raw material and manufactured materials and parts. Raw materials. The raw materials are both the farm and the natural products. The farm products are cotton, wheat, cereals, oils, fruits, vegetables, livestock, etc., while the natural products are crude petroleum, ores, mines and minerals, fisheries, etc. The market of farm products is highly competitive with very large number of suppliers who provide similar goods at a very low margin, and the differentiation is possible in terms of grading, assembly, storage, transportation, and selling services. As against the farm products, fewer but large sellers, bulk supply, low unit value, long term supply contracts, and huge capital investments for processing are some of the features of natural industrial products.
Manufactured materials and parts. The manufactured materials and parts are the one that have undergone some processing or manufacturing. They are again of two different categories depending upon their fabrication. They are component materials and component parts. The component materials such as cotton yarn, cement, wires, iron rods and pig iron, semi-processed food, etc. need further processing, and their product quality form the quality of the finished product. Thus, their price, standard, and quality are very important for the buyer. The component parts are the finished products for one industry and do not need further fabrication. These products, like tires, small motors, generators, cooling kits, are outsourced by the manufacturers to be fitted in their product, and thus they become a part of the ultimate finished product. A long term relationship, close integrated operations, price, and service considerations are very important in these marketing transactions, as the interruption in the supply of one can hinder the complete supply chain.
Foundation or capital goods. The foundation goods are the capital assets meant to be used or worn out during the production processes. These goods do not form part of the finished output in any form, but the manufacturing of the finished goods is not possible without the usage of such goods, and hence the name foundation goods. The cost of such capital items, that is, machinery, installation, tools, and equipments, is assigned to the cost of production as the depreciation cost. These goods are further categorized as installation and accessory equipments. Installations: buildings, machinery, lifts and elevators, generators, mainframe computers, etc., are the installations that are purchased for long term use in the production processes, and the cost of which is appropriated over the period of their useful life. Such goods are purchased directly from the producer after a long negotiation period and fine tuning as per the individual manufacturer's needs. Due to the nature of the deal, personal selling and willingness to meet the technical specifications is a must in such transactions.
Accessory equipments. These are the portable factory and office equipments meant for general administrative usage. These include hand tools, small motors, light equipments, plumbing and electrical equipments, desktop computers, etc. These equipments have a shorter lifespan, less cost, and are for general use as against installations. Given these characteristics, the equipments market is dispersed and varied with large number of buyers and sellers. Also, the selling procedures and negotiations are not as complex as installations. Major focus in these transactions is over service, quality, branding, and price.
Facilitating goods. The facilitating goods, as the name suggests, are the goods and services meant for facilitating the production processes and developing and managing the finished products. Depending upon whether these goods or services they are categorized as supplies and business service respectively. Supplies. The supplies include maintenance and repair supplies such as housekeeping materials, nails, paints, varnishes, chemicals, etc., and operating supplies such as petrol, electricity, lubricants, stationery, oil, paper, rims, etc. The consumption of these goods can be estimated fairly on time basis without many technicalities, and thus these are purchased as straight rebuy through approved list of vendors. Business services. The business services are that of business advisory consultants like accountants, legal advisors, engineers, media consultants, management consultants, as well as the maintenance and repair services of plumbers, electricians, housekeeping staff, transporters, and upkeep staff. The services of advisory consultants are usually procured on contract or outsourcing basis, where the goodwill and the reputation are of utmost importance. For the repair and maintenance services, either a department may be maintained by the organization or they may be purchased through contract. The business buying situations are varied depending upon the time constraints, the complexity of the problem at hand, the number of the people or influences involved, and the newness of the buying situation. Based upon these considerations, the buying situations and types are broadly classified as straight rebuy, modified rebuy, and new task. Straight rebuy. The straight rebuy refers to the routine purchases without any modifications for smooth functioning of the organizational operations. The task is handled by the purchase department, and the items of purchase include the office supplies, the raw materials of production department, the purchases meant for maintenance and upkeep, etc. The suppliers for such purchases are chosen from the approved lists, and the focus is over timely delivery and quality products and services. The existing or in suppliers try to maintain the relationship through automatic reordering system, whereas the out suppliers try to offer a modified solution or exploit the dissatisfaction to get an entry. Modified rebuy. This is a business buying situation in which the buyer wants to modify the product specifications, price, terms, delivery requirements, or the supplier. The modified buying decision is influenced by the deliberations of more decision participants than the routine trade rebuys. Such purchase influences the marketing strategy for both the in and the out suppliers, as the former observes a threat of losing a relationship, while the latter seeks an opportunity in gaining a business account.
The last type of buying business situation is new task. The new task buying situation is the one in which the product or service is to be purchased for the first time. The purchases of some capital assets like machinery or building, technology, operating systems, land and property, etc., are the examples of such new task purchases. Usually, these purchases involve greatest opportunities and challenges for the marketer, as huge capital investments are the part of such deals. Because of the sensitivity of their nature and the risk involvement, there is larger number of buying risk participants. On the supplier side, the enormity of the opportunity calls for greater marketing efforts in terms of information supply, long bargain processes, service fulfillment, product modification, etc.
The business buying process, just like consumer buying process, is a sequential process involving many stages. These stages are more profound in case of a new task situation as compared to the modified or straight rebuy, where some of the steps may be bypassed or compressed. The key stages are problem recognition, general need description, product specifications, supplier search, proposal solicitation, supplier selection, order routine specifications, and finally, performance review. The first stage is problem recognition. An internal or external stimulus like machinery breakdown, launch of new variety by the competitor, change in customers' taste, decision to launch a new product or a new variety of existing product, offer of better quality or price by the new supplier, etc., brings to fore the need to make purchases. The second stage is general need description. The buyer assimilates the characteristics such as durability, reliability, price, physical features, etc., and the quantity of the materials to be purchased. The task of the marketer at this stage is to match the buyer's needs with his product and service solutions. This stage is more objective for standard items purchase. Thereafter, the next stage is product specifications. For complex, engineered, and non routine items, a team of experts may take up the task of listing down technical specifications and doing a product value analysis, often called PVA. A value analysis helps in working out the key technical and engineering details, and the same is used by the marketer to frame the product specifications as per buyer's needs and to secure the business. Thus, differentiation and positioning is achieved through PVA. The next stage is supplier search. A list of qualified suppliers is prepared through the review of trade journals, internet, trade directories, auction, or exchange sites, etc. Nowadays, e-procurement, that is, online purchasing through websites, is also becoming very popular as it not only saves cost and time but also forges direct relationship. B2B portals are also increasingly becoming very popular as they make available the e-hubs organized both industry-wise, for example, plastic, cement, iron ore, telecommunications, paper industry, etc., and functionality-wise, for example, logistics management, media, consultants, energy management, water conservers, etc. The next stage is proposal solicitation. The proposal by an individual qualified supplier is solicited at this stage. For straight rebuy, this proposal may not be required at all. For modified rebuy, it may be required in terms of catalogs. But for complex engineering items purchased for the first time, it may call for research, presentations, demonstrations, and technical documentations. Thus, the marketer must be skilled in making oral and technical presentations so as to inspire confidence of the buyer and beat out the competition.
The next stage is supplier selection. On the basis of the presentations and negotiations, the technical aids and advices, competitive forces, ethical behavior, and the marketing strategy of the supplier in terms of price, service, and product quality, the buying center identifies the most suitable supplier. The buying center may make this judgment intuitively, but for all the reasons of reference, record, and above all accuracy, a customer value assessment may be taken up to compare the supply proposals over weighted scales of above stated attributes and hence making a logical comparison of their score rating.
Next stage is order routine specifications. Once the supplier is shortlisted, final order is negotiated in the form of the order routine that specifies the listed items, their technical specifications, the expected time of delivery, the return policies, and warranties, etc. Beyond the listing and understanding of these specifications, the industrial marketer may try to take leverage by introducing various methods of logistical arrangements such as stockless purchase plans, continuous replenishment program, vendor managed inventory, etc. that reduces the cost of inventory and also saves upon the time of inventory management routine jobs. And the last step is performance review. This is a post purchase behavior that may lead the buyer to continue and extend the relationship or modify or drop the arrangements depending upon his need fulfillment and satisfaction. He may use a number of rating methods to periodically take up.
Let us now recapitulate what we have learned in this module. Business marketing is all about marketing goods and services for the business market constituted by business organizations, institutions, and government. The marketing challenges and tasks for a business market are different from those of a consumer good market. The distinguishable characteristics of business market are with respect to the market structure and demand, the nature of the buying unit, and its buying behavior. The buying decisions in terms of the marketing strategy, emphasis of the marketing strategy over relationship and the supply chain value networking. An understanding of these characteristics bring to fore the distinguished challenges and the associated strategies that must be understood by the practitioners. A useful aspect in business marketing management is to understand the classification of business or industrial goods and services. An insight about the key features of these categories help the practitioners frame suitable marketing strategies. Business buying situations are varied as straight rebuy, modified rebuy, and new task. Each type of the buying situation calls for a different marketing challenge and strategy. The business buying process is a sequential process with definite stages starting from need recognition to end at performance review. A knowledge of these steps helps understand the buying behavior of the buying unit.